What do you do when there's nothing you can do about your current circumstances? When you wish you could be anywhere but here? How do you stay present at a time like this? Today, I'm talking about how to stay present when you dislike your present. Hi, my name is Jessica Hurd. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of New York. I offer virtual telehealth sessions to my clients that live in New York, and I also have a mental health and wellness community resource where I offer one-to-one support and community-based support. Let's get into the topic today. But don't forget, if you like what you're listening to and watching today, please share with a friend or two, and subscribe to the channel to watch more topics and content like this. So to start, I'm offering 3 strategies. How do you practice being present when you dislike your present, when you don't like your current circumstances? So the first is to express your feelings. The second is to practice visualization. And the third is to practice mindfulness. So being present, what is it? What does it mean to actually be present? So to be present is to be intentional about paying attention to the here and now. That could be internally, it could be externally, but it is being mindful of what's happening now, not the future, not the past, but now. Mindfulness is a cognitive tool that allows us to be present. And so mindfulness is just detaching from our thoughts, not focusing on the future or past, like I mentioned before, but just sitting with our present moment and our environment and what's happening with us physically, mentally, emotionally. Being present can be difficult to learn how to do for anyone. It's definitely a practice, not impossible. Anyone can start with a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of practicing mindfulness. I have another video of how to practice being present, so you should definitely check that out. I think it's harder for others that are going through a difficult time in their lives. I've had that pushback before, where with a client, if they're going through challenging times, they're like, I don't want to be here right now. I do mean they don't want to be in their current circumstances. They're dissociating and imagining that they're somewhere else, or they're really struggling and coping in unhelpful ways with what's happening. And so to practice mindfulness as a way to relieve some of the stress and anxiety that they might be dealing with doesn't sound like a good technique for them. So let me talk directly to someone that could relate to that at this point. What is it like to dislike your present? You may be experiencing some circumstances that are not within your control, or maybe within your control. That's something you might want to talk about in therapy or one-on-one like coaching or group coaching. But something that's not within your control, just something that you don't like that's happening in your life, and having to live with uncomfortable circumstances, something that is going to be longer than a week, a month. It could be 6 months, a year, years. Unfortunately, there are some circumstances not within our control, can be lifelong, chronic, permanent. So I'm talking to people that can relate to that. So once you've recognized, accepted, identified that there is a circumstance in your life that is just not within your control, there isn't some quick fix, you can't pray it away, it's here for the time being, you might emotionally respond to that, and naturally so. You may feel sad, you may feel angry, you may feel frustrated, you may feel annoyed, you may feel hopeless, you may feel depressed, you may feel a lot of different things. But all of those are very natural responses, being in a situation where you don't want to be there and it's not within your control. It's also important to talk about how you physically may react to being in such a situation. So, after many weeks or many months of being in a situation that you've identified is not within your control, that doesn't have a quick fix that you can just change, right? Physically, you may react. You may feel heavy. You feel the heaviness of that reality in your body, and it's harder to move, it's harder to wake up, it's harder to get started on things. You might feel that in your body, like your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, just feeling tense, tight, pain even. You may feel uncomfortable in your body. You may find yourself like just feeling very itchy or too hot, too cold, feeling like you want to jump out of your skin, muscle tightness in your stomach, feeling nauseous. So, being in a prolonged state like this, yeah, definitely can have physical implications. So, just wanting to be aware of that, wanting you to know that if you're experiencing any of that, it's a normal reaction to what you're going through. And coming back to the 3 strategies that I mentioned before, how do you navigate a time like this? And so, just 3 ways that you can navigate a time like this. One is expressing your feelings. You want to be honest with yourself first of what is happening and acknowledging that you don't like the circumstances, you don't have the control to change that right now, and what does that make you feel? So, really acknowledge that, and you might choose to write in a journal. You might choose to do some voice notes or even record a video, just expressing that. Express that. Don't try to hold that in. And for my creative folks, that might look like doing some form of creative expression, like poetry, writing a song, playing music, conducting a song, but just letting that out. And then when we talk about interpersonal, you want to be able to have, say, like a therapist to talk to and really talk about what your experience is and what you're feeling. Having trusted close friends or family members, loved ones that you can express this to. Like, this is my reality, this is what I'm experiencing, and this is what it is. So expressing yourself, number one. The second strategy is visualization. And so this one is important and powerful in helping you to get through a time like this. I think one, if it's more of waiting a situation out, like you just have to wait the months or year or years until the situation comes to an end or until you're in a better financial place or whatever it might be. And so staying connected to where you want to eventually get to. Can you visualize being there? Can you visualize what it would feel like to be there? What it would feel like to overcome, to accomplish, to succeed? Being as detailed as possible. I love using the 5 senses when it comes to a visualization. So, let's just say it's someone wanting to move somewhere. What does it feel like to live there? You feel the warm breeze, maybe from the ocean that you're now next to. You feel the warm sun. You smell tropical plants and fruit, right? And just using your senses, what would it feel like? What would it look like? Really picture, like, what is it that you're seeing? A visualization is a very helpful strategy. Strategy number 3 is practicing mindfulness. There are many ways to practice mindfulness, but I think one of the ones that would be helpful here is to practice gratitude. So, taking what's happening in the here and now, what is going well, what have you been doing well? What are you grateful for? Are you grateful for health? Are you grateful to have a place to stay, even if it's not where you want to be? Are you grateful for your job? Are you grateful for having good friends that you can talk to? Whatever you can think of that is going well in your life right now, practice gratitude for that. I really hope that you found this helpful, just talking about this. There's no shame in feeling unhappy with circumstances that are not within your control. And just to know that the physical, emotional reactions that you may be having to being in such a time like this, is normal, but I hope that the strategies that I shared help you to navigate that and to feel more empowered as you navigate the situation that you're currently in. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment. I'd love to know, have you been in a time like this and tried any strategies like this before? Or were there other things that you tried that helped you during a time like that? So let me know in the comments. Please like if you liked the video, share with a friend or two. Maybe you know someone that's currently in a time of their lives where they're not in control and they can't just easily move to the next chapter or next thing. So they might find this helpful. And then also subscribe to my channel for other videos and content like this. And I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Thank you for watching.